I think when you think about Georgia, you think about these front sevens that they always have, and every April there's always, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight guys getting drafted off of that defense. Last year, they're both of their bookends in Walker and Michael Williams going to be first round picks. And obviously, Texas fans know how good Jalen Walker and Michael Williams were for Georgia. But this year, I don't think Georgia really has anybody on the defensive line, especially that front four, that they feel like can really line up and win consistently, or have be a 15%, 14% win rate, 40 pressure guy, anything like that. There's just not really anybody like that this year for them, and you've seen that they haven't gotten a lot of pressure. When they do get pressure, it's these blitzes where they're sending the linebackers, or it'll be like a sim pressure or something like that. So that's the biggest thing for me, is that old Georgia man ball pass rush. I think that we've gotten so used to these last few years, and they won 2 national championships with that. That's not really the case with them anymore. And obvious, as much as everyone wants to point the blame at the secondary and everything, I think that's where all of the dysfunction on the defense stems from, is they cannot get pressure with 4. They just can't, and they haven't been able to all year. And that's something I think Texas is going to have to take advantage of. You've got an athletic quarterback in Arch who has been really good this year when he's on the move, and that's going to be what they're going to have to do. You're going to have to get Arch out. You're going to have to get him moving, and he's going to have time to throw. I really do think he will. I know this Texas offensive line has struggled, but you might have a hard time running the ball, but I really think throwing the ball, there will be opportunities.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because this is the second game with the new look offensive line where we put Connor Robertson at center and Cole Hudson at left guard, and then left everyone else at their normal positions. And again, that's something we've been asking for about a month now, but Cole Hudson was hurt, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt with that. But I wanted to go to that earlier. It's going to be interesting because this stat, again, crazy. So versus Vanderbilt, only 6 pressures allowed. That is by far the least in SEC play. Before that, the least before that was 26 versus Mississippi State. So quite a drop down there. This offensive line has been abysmal. I think Arch Manning has gotten way too much blame. I think the play calling has been bad. I think the offensive line has been bad. He is starting to elevate his play, and that's why this team has looked a little bit better. Whereas I think the offensive line has gotten better. Again, it's only one game. That's why I'm interested to see in this game. That just because Vandy, yeah, they have some good players along the defensive line, but they don't have anyone near Georgia's caliber along the defensive line. I know these guys aren't putting up gaudy statistics, but they're 5-star defensive linemen all over that roster. So I'm going to be interested in how they match up versus your guys' defensive line.
Yeah, that'll be the big thing is, like I said, Georgia, I don't think anybody should really be trusting them to get home with 4, but they have been good against the run this year. Both of these teams have been excellent against the run. And I think the big thing for both of these defenses is who can have more success on the early downs and turn the other team into a one-dimensional team. Because Georgia, for all their struggles, Bama game aside, they allow 13th in conversion on third down. So maybe my whole point is disproven by that. But when Georgia's had success on defense this year, it's just been because they've been able to stuff the run on first down and second down and get teams in the third and longs and get off the field that way. That's going to be what they're going to be looking to do to Texas as well, because Texas, has struggled to run the ball this year, and that's just not been their thing this year. I don't think they have a rusher go for 100 yards all season. And so Georgia's going to want to come out and prey on that and force Manning to, really win on pure drop back situations. And that's where we're going to have to just see if Georgia's pass rush can do anything against them. I'm not expecting 7 sacks this year like there were last year, but if they can get 1 or 2, I think that might be maybe not the difference, but that would be that would be a big performance from this Georgia defense. They don't back sacks.
That would probably match their SEC sack total on the season.
I think it would. Right? They have 7 the whole year. So I don't know. I think that's the thing is whichever team can put more pressure on the quarterback to just convert these impossible situations. How many times can you throw over the middle on 3rd and 10? How many times can you do that? How many times can you roll out and find a guy on the sideline? That's going to be where we're going to have to, that's going to be the difference in this game, I think.